Quiz funnels. Today, we're going to take a deep dive about quiz funnels. What are they? How you can set up your quiz funnel, a quiz funnel for your business, the right questions that you have to include in your quiz funnel. And most importantly, how are you going to generate leads to get them to go through your quiz? So today I have a very special guest with me, Maeve Ferguson. We're going to talk about quiz funnels, how you can use them for your business, how you can go about creating a quiz funnel that will qualify leads to your business, and how you go about actually generating leads to go to your quiz funnel. I am Gaetano Caruana, founder of Early Period, a referral marketing platform that helps businesses to generate referrals. But today we're not going to talk about referrals. You can use referrals to get leads for your quiz funnel. Today we're going to focus specifically about quiz funnels. And today I have a special guest with me, Maeve Ferguson. So without further ado, let's introduce her. Maeve, how are you doing?
Hey, I am absolutely wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
All good. I'm really excited to learn more about quiz funnels because in the past, I have worked with clients who have been using quiz funnels in order to qualify their leads. We have worked with them when it comes to helping them generate leads through referral marketing, but I haven't specifically used quiz funnels for my business. I'm really interested to learn more about quiz funnels, how you're doing it, why they are so special, and why every business should have a quiz funnel. So what's a quiz funnel and how it can help us?
Yeah, so essentially, I think the best place to start is probably with a story. So we've always been, I'm sure a lot of your audience, maybe even yourself, if you're launching your programs, okay, and we've all had those instances in our lives where we literally did all the things, we built everything, we thought we literally did everything perfectly, launch our thing and get absolute crickets. And often what it comes down to is that our audience is not far enough along in their levels of market sophistication. Okay, so if somebody is completely problem aware, they are never going to actually buy your solution. They're never actually going to dive into your program because they're not even problem aware, never mind solution seeking. Okay, so this is where the whole kind of premise of quiz funnels comes in, is bringing those people into your business, bringing those leads into your business who are both problem aware and also solution seeking. So they're actually actively looking for a solution. Okay, and then so a quiz is a really, really beautiful way of allowing your ideal clients to kind of self-diagnose what is going on for them. So self-diagnosis, discovering things about ourselves, almost getting some sort of diagnosis as to what's going on for us is something that a lot of people are like kind of compelled to do. So they like actively choose to take a quiz to discover something about themselves. And this is where the power of the quiz funnel comes in. When our hook is powerful and really, really curiosity spiking, the leads come forward to us every single day because they are trying to discover the answer to that hook that you're putting in front of them. And then from more of the kind of the back end type of thing, anybody who has been kind of in internet marketing on the online space over the last couple of years has really started to see the impact of the cookieless world, first party data really starting to impact our businesses, our cost per lead with paid traffic. And a quiz is hands down the best way to collect your own first party data. And again, I'll talk later about how we feed that back into the machine, say for example with Facebook ads, to really, really drive down that cost per lead through the conversion API. But essentially, if you think of that, the simple part of it is essentially that first party data that we are collecting about our potentially perfect clients, and then what we can do then is feed what that person looks like straight back into the machine.
So did I get this right? So if it's, let's say I have a problem in my business, I would be looking online and say, listen, there must be a solution for my problem. Let's look how others are solving this problem. So a quiz funnel will first address the education gap.
Yeah, so if we look at it from two kind of perspectives. So the first perspective is, say, that the user, okay, so this person is going through, and I'll talk you through one of our quizzes just as an example so you can kind of see how this unfolds. So one of our quizzes is, what is your number one coaching business killer? Okay, this person obviously has a coaching business, something isn't going how they wanted to go in their business, it's not growing like they would like, so but they don't know what the problem is. They think they're doing all the things, they think they're ticking all the boxes, but it just simply isn't working. Okay, so then they essentially, that hook brings them in to start the quiz. And then we ask them a series of questions that are so well crafted that that user literally feels like this person gets it. They understand, this is what I'm experiencing, this is what I'm going through. Oh my goodness, that's me. As they go through question after question, they really start to see this person understands what I'm going through. Okay, then what we do is we like tease the result, because obviously we want to get the opt-in. From the business owner perspective, we want to get the opt-in, we want to get that lead into our business. That's the most critical part for us. What we want to do then is we tease the result. So we say to them, here's your result, but to get the answer and to get the solution, you got to put in your email address. Okay, so then they do that. And then what we do inside the actual quiz is then we give them an insight into what is going on for them. We give them an insight into the pain points that they're struggling with, the impact that is having on their lives, the impact that that's going to continue to have on their lives over time. And essentially then what we do at the back end of the quiz is that we give them an overview video of, here's your biggest struggle, here's your killer, here's your problem that you're having, here's the impact that that is having on your business, and then here's the knock-on impact that that's having on your life, and here's what the continuing to do that is going to happen, and what's going to cause in the long term. So essentially really sitting with that pain of, if we don't solve this problem that you're experiencing, then long term it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And then obviously we want to then give them a call to action. So we're giving them a call to action to take the next step with us. So they're now problem aware. They're now, the desire has been built in them to start seeking a solution. And then what we're doing then is putting our sales mechanism in front of them there and then. Okay, so then for us, for example, we run like a weekly live webinar that then bring people through to our programs. So weekly live webinar, we're sharing that with them, a little bit of insight, an aha moment. They get a breakthrough moment. They feel heard and understood, sometimes for the very first time. And then you're saying, listen, on Thursday, I'm running a live masterclass to show you exactly what to do instead. All right. And then this is where the opt-ins then come for the sales mechanism. Now that sales mechanism for us is a weekly live webinar. It could be a sales call. It could be an automated webinar. All of that, the plug-in at the back end is, can be changed. But essentially we're bringing them through that journey of self-discovery, discovering what the problem is, that realization and that acceptance of, here's the impact that it's having. And by the way, here's the solution. And the solution in the short term is come to the masterclass or the live webinar. And then obviously inside the live masterclass, then the solution is your program that is, the 12-month experience or whatever that may be.
That's really fantastic. So I guess that is one of the things, right, that makes and sets apart quiz funnels from other kinds of funnels, because there are a bunch of different funnels. That it's basically understanding to a certain extent based on the answers that each and every lead they are going to answer, and it's going to offer a different solution, I believe, according to what the problem is, right? Is that the only thing that sets quiz funnel apart? Not that I'm saying that it's not something fascinating, but are there any benefits? Are there any other differences that sets quiz funnels apart from other kinds of funnel?
Yeah, so I think with any other, we all have those like ordinary lead magnet funnels, okay, so a PDF, okay, so most people don't even open them, never mind actually take action. And the whole point of a quiz funnel is that the entire journey is like a series of micro steps. So they're taking it another tiny step and another tiny step and another tiny step. And then as they go through the journey of the quiz, they have a vested interest now, because they've spent, maybe 60 seconds going through this quiz. They've had that moment of self-discovery. And then what you can do, say, for example, if people don't opt into your weekly live masterclass at the back end of your quiz there and then, the beauty of it is inside your ESP, so your email service provider, obviously this quiz and all of their answers and all of their results are tagged inside your ESP. And then what we do is build out like long-term nurture campaigns for each of the different, what we call buckets. So somebody is struggling, for example, one of our buckets is called marketing mayhem. So they aren't getting the leads and the clients that they want into their business. Their entire, 100 email long follow-up nurture sequence is specific to the bucket that they fell into, the problem that they have been experiencing. So that level of kind of hyper personalization really, really changes the customer journey, the consumer experience, because they just don't feel like they're like, there's another PDF. Now you're in my mailing list, sell, sell, sell. And we're literally building them through this nurture sequence that is hyper specific to them.
That's really fantastic, because one of the challenges that I keep seeing coaches, online experts, is, for instance, something related to their open rate. So they get leads in one way or another, and they are putting everyone in one, I'm going to use the same term that you use, in one bucket. So everyone has the same problem, right? According to them. So they are pushing down their throats. They are trying to stuff them in with different kinds of offers from partners, from offers that they are offering. And they are wondering why people are not opening up their emails, and let alone not taking action. It's because they are not split into different segments, different buckets, and then they take. This is really, really, really interesting. As a software company, we are doing something similar when it comes to software, because according to the actions that you take when you're using the software, you're tracking what you're using, certain features that you're using, how you're integrating it, and then we're basing our email marketing and our content when we're sending out based on the actions that you have took. So for instance, if you're using early period with a particular integration, and we have done an upgrade, this is the simplest form. We've done an upgrade for that particular integration. There's no need to email everyone. We can only email a small segment of our email list. So I really like this feature, that it provides you, it feeds you with information that they have provided you with. This is going to be helpful in the long term. So it might be that they don't convert straight away to masterclass or whatever, but eventually you have that information that in the future can help you either to create other offers or nurture them in different way. I really love that.
Yeah, it works really well. And just to kind of follow up on that as well. So the long-term nurture is kind of one piece to that. But I think another kind of common frustration for people who maybe, say, for example, have programs on Evergreen, is they don't want to keep hitting their email list with the same thing week in, week out, week in, week out. But the beauty of a quiz funnel is that there's so many leads coming through your quiz every single week, then literally just like what I call like a funnel roll forward, re-tag everybody, and then you're only actually inviting the block of people to that week's masterclass that actually took the quiz that week. And then you can make the invite to the masterclass hyper specific to their specific problem that they experienced as they went through their quiz. So say, for example, if there's like 5 main problems, there's 5 tags. The people for that week of a block who just took your quiz and are getting invited to that week's live masterclass in the emails. And that stops you kind of burning out your list to the same thing, going out over and over and over again.
That's really nice. So it's everything about qualification and put the right offer in front of the right people. That's really beautiful. But now I'm gonna like take a step back. So I think this is all clear, how it's gonna help you, to hyper qualify leads. But you need leads. How are you dealing with this? Because this is
my favorite thing in the world, because people are like, just go and build this funnel, and you're like, yes, but it's your great Aunt Sally who can see the funnel. Doesn't matter. Okay?
How are you dealing with this? How are you helping your clients? It might be, it's an hour-long question, but how are you going about generating enough leads and high-quality leads that they want to take action after all and go through your quiz?
So essentially, obviously, you've got organic traffic and you've got paid traffic, all right? Our 99% of our business is all organic. So this is what I'll talk about today, because that's the easiest way for people to get started. It doesn't need 10, 15, 20 grand's worth of testing budget for Facebook ads and so on and so forth. But essentially, if you look at organic lead generation, it's a 4-step process, all right? So the first piece of this is expert positioning, all right? And one of the things I always love to say to a brand new client is that when you land on your social profile, would you buy from you? Okay, so are you the person who's complaining about the weather, giving out about current affairs, sharing other people's like inspirational quotes, or are you positioned Yeah, you positioned as that global go-to expert in your field. So that's the first piece, and very, very easy to make a few kind of subtle changes to position yourself in that way. And then the next thing we have to have is, so if we're positioned as the expert, somebody lands on our profile, yes, they might connect, but they're never actually going to come forward to us. So the next thing we have to have is content to bring our leads forward to us. Okay, so even if we're positioned as the most amazing expert in the world, if we are not putting content out there that speaks to what I would describe as the inside of the bones of your ideal client, they're not going to come forward to us. They're not going to actually raise their hand to us. All right. So that understanding of the pain points of what your ideal client is going through, when we've been through that transformational journey ourselves, it makes it super, super easy, because we can literally just close our eyes and go back to the day where you were, you know, for us, for example, sitting at your laptop, staring at a blank screen, no idea how to find a client, no idea how to bring anybody into our business. You really, really can understand the emotions, what they felt, all of that kind of thing. And then we're putting that content out there, but not in a way just to tick the box to say, yep, I was consistent with my content. We're doing it strategically, and we're using the way in which people want to consume that content. So for example, you know, YouTube Shorts, TikTok videos, all of that kind of thing. We've got our biggest platform is actually LinkedIn, and you want to tailor, like repurpose all your content, but tailor that content to match the way in which your consumer on that platform wants to consume that type of content. All right. So now we've ticked the expert positioning box, we've ticked the captivating content box. We're really, you know, you're getting DMs into your inbox every day saying, oh my goodness, how did you know that I felt like that? Oh my goodness, it's like you're inside my brain. Oh my goodness, this is my actual life. How did you know? You know, then you're on point with your captivating content. But if we are positioned as the expert, we've got the most amazing content in the world. If the only people seeing that content is our great Aunt Sally, so people we used to go to school with, people from our old jobs, people that live nearby, if they are not ideal clients, it doesn't matter what you put out there, because they're not your ideal client, they're not going to opt in. So what we want to do here is, and this is like the kind of what I would call the secret sauce, it's a strategic audience build, but we do it leveraging industry gurus. Okay, so if you think about what is a Facebook ad is essentially a piece of copy and an image that we pay a platform to put in front of somebody else's audience. Okay, so say for example, for yours, let's pick Kajabi, even though I think it's gone from the options now on the list, but let's pick Kajabi, let's pick ClickFunnels, let's pick any of those, and we are putting your image and your copy in front of somebody else's audience and paying for the privilege. What we do instead is we actually utilize our personal profiles. Okay, so not our business pages, because as we know, you post on your Facebook business page, your LinkedIn business page, and you get a grand old total reach of maybe 3 humans if you're lucky. You know, you're not getting that reach that you really, really need. So we actually use our personal profiles and build that audience of ideal clients, okay, leveraging the industry guru audiences. Okay, so groups, so their pages, profiles, all of those types of things. We can go into Facebook groups where our ideal client is, and build the audience of people who are actually struggling with that specific thing by using the search function. Okay, so that's kind of the Facebook angle. Then on LinkedIn, and this is our little kind of powerhouse thing, is on LinkedIn, obviously you have, you know, the sales nav version, you've got the paid version and the free version. What we use is actually a piece of software that abides by all of the rules so that we don't end up in LinkedIn jail. And essentially it builds our audience for us based on parameters that we feed into the system. Okay, so for us, our audience are coaches, consultants, and we are basically saying, from this list of people, go and add these people to my connections. And then on our connection, we have our quiz. And then, so these opt-ins are just coming in day and daily, because the curiosity is there. The hook is on point. People want to know, oh my goodness, what is my, you know, number one obstacle to a thriving coaching business? Oh my goodness, what is my number one coaching business killer? These opt-ins are coming in steadily. And then all of those opt-ins then feed people into the weekly live masterclasses and or onto your email list. And then subsequently, then they join the masterclass.
That's really nice. So to summarize it, it's really important how you position yourself. It's really important. Unfriend your mom from your
not if mom can help out with the algorithm. Okay, so you put up your post in your profile inviting people to take your quiz, and mommy sends in a couple of different comments, it still boosted up the algorithm, and off we go. So
I can relate to this because prior to starting my business, I used to do mostly, I have technical background. I have a technical background. So prior to starting Early Period, I used to do technical job, programming, development. So most of my, for instance, when we're talking about LinkedIn, it's professional connections. So most of my connections back when I started Early Period, they were mostly technical people, which definitely they are not my ideal clients. So when I used to post on LinkedIn and I get zero engagement, or I get some sympathy and someone will like, your post just because they like you as a person, it doesn't mean you're getting real engagement because they are not your ideal clients. And I used to wonder, say, nah, I think LinkedIn is not working for me. So this is definitely the second why, because my profile was not properly set up, and also my audience was not matching my customer persona. So those are really, really, really good takeaways. Then automating it, once you have the groundwork done, then it's about automation and scaling. So I really love that. So so you're helping your clients mostly to get leads through social media, being Facebook and LinkedIn mainly, right?
Yeah, so like a kind of a core component is once we have created that offer that is literally red hot, once we have the funnel and the mechanism to bring the leads in, obviously then we want to bring them through to our sales mechanism. So a big part of kind of what we teach and what I do is that organic lead generation piece that then allows them to have essentially the funds to go and run paid traffic. Because an awful lot of programs out there, it's like, create your offer and now go and run some Facebook ads. And then people, they blow their entire budget for like 3 years in the space of, a couple of months, because they're going to Facebook ads without a, proof of concept of their offer converting. They don't have proof of concept of their messaging landing, proof of concept of their sales mechanisms working. And, yes, of course, like paid traffic's amazing when you have all of those proof of concepts in place and you can get results, faster there. But the vast majority of coaches that I speak to just simply don't have the 10, 20K to go and play with to pay to play with Facebook ads. So what we do is get everything converting, the machine running organically first, and then we go and plug in paid traffic.
Very good, very good. So we have dealt with the way how to build a quiz funnel, how to best structure it, and also we have dealt with the question, how I'm going to get people to go through my quiz funnel. Now let's jump after the quiz funnel, right? So in your opinion, actually from your experience, having dealt with a lot of coaches and helping them how to use quiz funnels, the end game is to sell, right? To put your offer at the right people. From your experience, what is the best way how to sell? Is it via webinars, via masterclass? Obviously, it depends. That's going to be, obviously, most probably that's going to be your answer. But maybe you can give us a little bit more insight, say, hey, if you are in this stage, I would go for this because of this. What do you think would be the best route for someone who's listening or watching? What would be the best way how they can go about, say, okay, I have my quiz funnel, I have my leads. What's the best way how to, sell to these leads?
Fantastic question. And trust me when I say I have tried them all. I am an absolute data junkie. I love KPIs, metrics, and every decision that we make is based on this. So, and essentially when you think of the sales mechanism, and we'll talk about that in a moment, none of that matters if the offer is not going to convert. Okay, so your quiz actually starts with your offer. Okay, so building out that offer, and then through your quiz, you're building that desire and demand, the realization, the awareness of the gaps in the process, so that whenever they come to your sales mechanism, then they are primed, literally like hanging on your every word, waiting to see how to come and work with you. All right. And hands down, the best way, and I mean, we have tested them all of the different like strategies and the shiny ones and all of these different types of things, are live masterclasses. So like live webinars but on repeat, on evergreen. So week in, week out, week in, week out. And it's, it's people are, maybe launching once a year. They're getting feedback from their market once. They might launch 4 times a year, and they do all of this like flurry of activity. They go up like a complete roller coaster of emotions. They do their big launch, and then it just, it maybe falls flat, or it was good enough, but they're so flipping exhausted from it that they just crash and burn. When we get into this ease and flow of just a weekly live webinar, weekly live webinar, weekly live webinar, and then what we do inside of ours, because we have higher ticket programs, and because I love my life and I only like to have certain people come into my energy and into my space, we have a by application only process. So what we do inside the live masterclass is we obviously go through the training component, and then we pivot into our pitch and make our offer, and that offer is by application only. And then I have like 2 little tiny babies, so sales calls are something that is not really for me right now because of the level of noise and childcare and so on and so forth. So what we do then is we have program advisors that do all of our sales calls for us. So essentially I show up for 1 hour per week live, and I do the same masterclass over and over and over again. I literally could say the entire thing in my sleep. The team then do all of like the funnel roll forward and the tagging and things like that. It's a super simple process once you get it down. They follow the SOP, roll it forward for next week. The program advisors do the sales calls, and because it's by application only and they understand me and the type of clients that I want to work with, then only, the best are getting through the door. And it is hands down the most beautiful, kind of flawless, easy process. You have to obviously work to build the thing, but once it is built, it just runs week in, week out, week in, week out.
That's really good. And also they get a feel of you, the kind of person, whether they want to work with you, whether there's, chemistry in the sense of, yes, I want to do business with this person because it looks like she's authentic. She looks like she knows what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I really believe in the live aspect and be able to interact with those people. And it's really nice that you have a little setup where you're getting people to literally screen all those people who might be sitting on the fence. They have maybe some questions to answer, some questions before they jump on the program. It's really nice. So you're basically only doing the live masterclass, and then eventually all your team will take action on all the other leads. I can see a lot of different ways how I can use this for my business. Maybe you can share where people can get in touch with you, like the easiest way how to get in touch with you. Maybe even you can share the URL for your quiz. We will include it in the video anyway, and even in the description. So people, if they want to get in touch with you, they would be able to maybe they have some questions, further questions.
Yeah, of course. And like, we're all, that's the thing, we're always here to help. And I am a massive believer. We had a fantastic conversation a couple of weeks ago. It's just come from a place of service. And when somebody needs your help, then it's that you're always top of mind. So if anybody wants to reach out, just go to LinkedIn and search for Maeve Ferguson. There are not too many with the spelling of my name. And then, so a quiz that we'll hook up down below is all about discovering which coaching business model is right for you. So some people, for example, are out there building digital courses, but they actually want to have that intimate one-to-one relationship. Some people are working one-to-one, but then they're saying they want time freedom. And a lot of people are kind of building businesses that are not aligned with what the life that they actually want to live. So a really useful quiz for you to go through. It's completely free. It's like 60 seconds to go through it. It is basically figuring out which coaching business model is right for you. And that's just maeveferguson.com/model.
That's fantastic. Maeve, I would like to thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
And going through the different components, like how to generate leads, how to create a quiz funnel. That's all experience. You condensed it in a very easy way how to understand it. I really would love to thank you for taking the time and look forward to working with you.
Fantastic. No problem at all. And thank you very much for having me.
Welcome.